Narcissist, Seduction. Episode 5. The following day, Wynne heard nothing from Ashley. He was engaged in repeated meetings, but found himself after each one checking his phone to see if there was a message. He found that he was disappointed when there was nothing. This persisted until around late afternoon, when he was back in his office. His phone announced a message, and it was from her. Smiling, he opened up the message. "Hi, all okay? Kiss, kiss." "Yes, fine, and you?" Kiss, kiss. "Good, thanks. Miss you, though." "Why don't you call down here, then, before heading home?" "I would love to, but I don't have time." "Just 10 minutes." "I need to, but I can't. I have to get home." "Okay." He lowered the phone, and it rang. The call display announced it was Ashley. "Hi." "Hi," she said. "Where are you?" "Just getting in the car. I wanted to call earlier, but I've just not had chance. So busy." "Me too. I've been in meetings most of the day." "I really should come and see you." "Do it then. You know where I am," said Wynne. "It's so tempting. I need to kiss you again." "I'd like that." "All I thought about last night was you." "Well, I must admit I thought about you a lot as well." "Did you look up the song?" she asked. Yes, I did. Not my type of usual thing, but I did like it." "You'll realize that I will struggle to tell you certain things, so I will do it through songs." "Right." "I'm serious. Just a second, I'm getting in the car." Wynne heard the sound of a door opening, and then a scuffling noise, before it was clear that she was now on the hands-free option. "You there?" she asked. "Yes, I'm here." "It's true. He's made me unable to say things the way that I want to, and so I have to do it through another means of doing so. I know that seems a bit strange, but he makes me frightened to express myself. It's just something you'll have to get used to." Wynne liked the sound of that. Getting used to it meant seeing more of her. "Okay," he said. "What are you doing?" "Oh, working. Will be for a while, unless of course you want to distract me." "Don't. Otherwise I will be down there like a shot. I have to get back, though, or he'll cause hell." "Why?" "That's what he's like. He loves to control me." It was a wonder I was able to return to work after I had Christopher. He was delighted when I was at home playing the role of wife and mother. "That doesn't sound so good," said Wynne. "Believe me, his job is oh so important, and I have to do my job and run around after the children." "I thought you had a nanny for that," commented Wynne, as someone entered his office. I mean at night and the weekends. He doesn't lift a finger to help." "Ah, right." "He always complains that he's tired. I'm the one who has to get up through the night with Christopher. He just lies there and nudges me awake, telling me to go and shut him up. Of course, he seems to forget that I run the home, I care for the children, and I do a full-time job. Oh, but heaven forbid if I ever have to work late. If I do, there's hell on." "Why's that, then?" "Oh, he rings me up and demands that I come home. Once I was in a meeting, and he demanded that my secretary put him through to the boardroom I was in. I took the call, and he was shouting at me, saying I cared more about the job than about him and the children. Even the client could hear him bawling down the phone. It was so embarrassing." "Sounds rather selfish to me," commented Wynne. "Oh, he is. He's the mighty engineer. His projects save lives, don't you know? That's what he reminds me of repeatedly. All he cares about is how good he looks in front of his staff and his bloody wine collection." "Wine collection?" "Yes. He thinks he's some kind of connoisseur. He's done the courses and got certificates and so on. Honestly, buying a bottle of wine is so tedious. He spends an absolute age reading the labels and comparing them. The hours, and I mean hours, we have stood in the aisle at a wine merchant's as he ponders each bottle. I'm just dying to scream at him to just buy the damn thing. He pays those bottles more attention than me." "What an odd chap." "Oh, he's just selfish. It's all about him. Not like you. You think about other people. Well, I like to think so, yes. It's true. People always say that about you. Do they? Asked Wynne, surprised. Oh, absolutely. They say you are fantastic with people. You left a lot of sad people behind when you left this bank. I didn't realise. I mean, I know some people like me, but I didn't think it was on that scale. Oh, yes, you care about people. You understand them. I like that. I'm obliged, said Wynne, smiling. Wynne spun his chair around to see a colleague motioning towards a document in her hand. He nodded and held a hand up. I'm going to have to go. Somebody needs to speak to me. Okay, I'll text you tonight if I get the chance. Okay, bye. Bye. There was no text that evening. Wynne tried to distract himself by watching a film, but his mind kept drifting to what Ashley might be doing. He wondered what her home was like. He imagined it to be well appointed given the joint income that she and her husband enjoyed. She was certainly scathing about her husband. Wynne had never met him, and he recalled on the few occasions that he spoke to Ashley at her desk at Novo Bank. He noticed that there was never any photograph of her husband on display. There were plenty of her daughter, many of them with Ashley, but it was as if the husband didn't exist. Wynne closed his eyes and pictured her busying herself about chores about the house and then no doubt settling down, as he often did, to continue with some work, drafting a proposal or handling emails. He wondered when they might meet next. Certainly he was keen to experience more of the passion that she had exhibited when they had met at the car park near the golf course. Her repeated sexual whimpering had proven most alluring. He considered sending her a text, but then dismissed the thought. If her husband was as controlling as she had suggested, it was likely that he would question any text messages or calls that she received. He didn't want to put her in an awkward position. No, he would have to wait for her to contact him. At least he knew that he could do so freely during the day, when she was at work. The following morning, Wynne was about to leave his home, when a message arrived on his phone. Hi, all okay? Kiss, kiss, kiss. Fine, thank you. How about you? Kiss, kiss, kiss. I'm okay. Couldn't stop thinking about you last night. I have a meeting indoor, first thing. I thought we could meet after it. When will you be finished? About 10:30. Sure, I can slip out for an hour or so. Marvellous. Do you know Brabbins Park? Yes. Meet me there at 11 in the car park. Will do. Great. See you then. Wynne left the office and drove to Brabbins Park. It was a beautiful set of landscape gardens that was quite a tourist attraction. The gardens were set in a natural bowl in the countryside and were about 20 minutes' drive from his office. Again, at that time of day, there would be few people at the park, and certainly few in the very large car park adjoining it. The car park was on the side of a hill, and was set in terraces, so that each terrace was hidden from the next one by trees. Given that there was quite a walk from the top terrace down to the gardens themselves, most people attending would park on the lower terraces. On the few occasions that Wynne had been to the park, he had never even seen the car park half full, given its size, even though the gardens had been extraordinarily busy. He arrived just before 11 a.m. and turned right, heading off the sloping entrance road, and parked halfway along the empty terrace. He reasoned that Ashley would be able to see him waiting there. Wynne sat looking out to the road. A couple of vehicles had passed, neither was hers, and he glanced at his watch as the time crept around to 11:05 a.m. He felt the rising excitement in his stomach, a repeat of the sensation that he had felt on the Monday when he had driven to meet her. He wondered if she felt the same way, the same tickling, bubbling sensation within. He looked to his watch again and saw it was now 11:10 a.m. He picked up his phone, but there was no message stating that she had been delayed. He considered ringing her, but decided against it. The nose of the BMW X5 appeared, and she swung onto the terrace, coming to a halt next to him. Wynne unbuckled his seatbelt and exited his vehicle, as Ashley did likewise. She rounded her larger vehicle, and without saying anything at all, grabbed hold of Wynne. Their mouths locked, and they kissed hard and frantically, relishing the sensation that their embrace created. Wynne lifted a hand and caressed her neck. She murmured in delight, her hands pulling him against her as she bumped into the side of her vehicle. He pushed into her, enjoying the feeling of her body up against his. He brought his hand around and reached for her left breast, squeezing it through the green dress that she wore. She did not protest and instead made more noises of encouragement. He continued to knead her breast as their embrace continued. Wynne lifted his head back as her green eyes stared at him. Her thin mouth parted slightly. "God, I needed that," she said, before kissing him again. For several minutes they kissed alone on the terrace of the car park. The only sounds were their own noises of enjoyment and the stiff breeze, which brushed through the many trees surrounding them. They broke from kissing and said nothing. Ashley glanced over her shoulder to the rear of her car. "Do you think you could have me in there?" she asked. Wynne followed her gaze. "Well, if you move the child seat, yes," he answered. "I shouldn't be doing this. I have to think of my children," she said. Wynne stood silent, as she seemed to wrestle with the thought. "But I should do this, for me. You are my sanity, you see," she said. "How do you mean?" "Ever since I first kissed you, I haven't felt anxious or panicked. You calm me down." "This is calming you down?" asked Wynne as he made to kiss her. "It does. I feel a connection with you. It makes me calm." They kissed again. "I know this is wrong, but I deserve this. I've wanted you for so long," she said, placing both hands on his chest. "Well, I'm not complaining," admitted Wynne. "It is peaceful here, isn't it?" said Ashley, looking around. Wynne nodded as a car drove past on the central road. They were obscured from it by the height of Ashley's vehicle. "I could stay here with you all day," she added. "Me too." The next half hour passed amidst repeated passionate clinches as Wynne and Ashley kissed one another. Despite her suggestion of clambering into the back of the spacious 4x4, neither made a move to do so. They only talked intermittently, in between their bouts of kisses, until Wynne indicated that he had to return to the office. "Meet me for lunch tomorrow," said Ashley. "I'd love to. What time?" 12:30, at the Old Town Hall. "That's the new pub across the square from your office, isn't it?" "Yes." "Bit close to home, don't you think?" remarked Wynne. "Yes, but if anybody sees us, we're just friends having lunch. Plus, it's just 5 minutes' walk from my bank, so I'll get longer to spend with you." "Yes, but it's 25 minutes from mine," added Wynne. "Ah, but you're more important than me, so you can stay away longer. I get watched, you see." "What do you mean, watched?" "They suspect I might leave, so if I'm gone too long, they think I'm attending an interview, and they'll give me a hard time." "Oh, I see. So you'll meet me?" "Of course I will." "Fantastic. I have something to show you. I think you'll like it." "That sounds interesting." "I think you will like it." "Good." They kissed once more, before returning to their respective vehicles and driving away, leaving no trace of their illicit encounter.